Today's condominium owners and residents in condominium buildings are a little different than we've seen in the past. You know, in the old days, and certainly in my generation, when a pen ran out of ink, we ran down to the corner store to get a new one. Now they simply go online, they order it online, and it's delivered the very next day, if not the same day. Condominium corporations are not designed for this influx of parcels. One click, and the lobby gets full. Today I'm joined by Tania Haluk, VP of Operations for First Service Residential, a fairly large management company. Welcome back, Tania. You've been here before. This is old hat for you, so it's so good to have you here.
Thanks, Mary.
We already have problems with deliveries and parcels piling up and this big mess growing in the lobby, and I think it's only going to get worse as time goes on. We're not going to change this purchasing pattern, Tania, and I suspect that the rules that are in place now are going to be seen as being a little bit too restrictive or unreasonable. So it begs the question, how do we avoid legal repercussions?
Good question, Murray. I agree with you that online shopping is increasing. A lot of people are going out less and just pointing and clicking, as you mentioned before, and their parcels arrive. If you're in a condominium community fortunate enough to have concierge desk, that creates the influx of packages at the concierge, and space is always an issue. So it's a matter of using creative use of space, limited as it may be, that you have, and also creating proper policies and putting them in place before something happens, and empowering the concierge to have the discretion to decide whether they're going to turn a package away or not, which might not seem reasonable for a resident, but we have to take into consideration that the concierge desk is not a public storage facility. There are other duties the concierge needs to take care of. So having that policy in place will help with legal repercussions and making sure there is adequate storage, or implementing a policy that restricts either the size, the weight, or the number of parcels that the concierge can expect in a given day. Even with online grocery shopping, if you don't have a cold storage area, it's not going to be feasible for the concierge to collect packages such as that, fresh flowers, other perishable items. So it's important to know your surroundings and work with it.
True, that's a good tip for owners to understand. Great, so the condo enacts, through due process, some parcel and packaging handling rules. That's great. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen rules in condos, and it wouldn't be the first time that we see people break rules. What sort of liability does a condo assume with these packages, and what can they do for non-compliance to these rules they put in place?
Great question, Murray. Rules have to be reasonable, and reasonable is always discretionary. Common sense, we know, is not that common, but getting the community or the residents to sign a waiver, which would include the discretionary aspect of the concierge to make the determination whether they accept a parcel or not, and also including cooperation from the resident. Residents should be aware that they can't leave parcels there for an undetermined or unlimited length of time. This is not their locker area or their personal storage area, that they have an obligation to come to the desk in a reasonable amount of time to collect their parcel to make sure that it is secured at all times.
That makes a lot of sense, and I get it. Somebody comes into the building, that's my home, the first impression is what they get in the lobby. And if that's just piled with parcels, it just looks terrible. But you know, I'm a realist, I'm an administrator, all of these packages coming, with increased packages comes the increased opportunity to abuse the system. What do you think a condo can do to prepare for this parcel tsunami?
Tsunami is a good word. There are days where any given day, as you mentioned, the concierge desk can be full and overflowing, which is unsightly and is also risky for the concierge desk as well, because if they want to make sure that the packages are in a secured area, should the concierge person move away from the desk for some reason, you don't want to be leaving someone's parcels unattended in an unsecured area. Canada Post and some other companies have come up with some great opportunities for condominium communities to try out with respect to a locker type system that works on almost an iPad, where you get a code You go to a certain locker area, which could be in the mailroom, could be in the lobby, which would take that traffic away from the concierge desk and enable residents to manage their parcel delivery on their own. And that would take care of some of the rules with respect to size, weight, etc., by using this locker storage area. Again, the cooperation from the resident, knowing that the concierge main responsibility is to deal with access control and emergencies. Having the parcel delivery being taken care of by the concierge is an added value and perk of residents where it makes sense.
Tania, thanks for delivering the message. So it sounds like we've got to prepare physically the site for these packages to come. We've got to have the right rules in place, the right type of security, but it's coming. There's no question about it. Thanks again, Tania.
My pleasure.
We hope that you'll be ready for the tsunami, and if you're not on the board of directors but living in the condominium, we hope that you'll understand that that is the first impression of your home, and so timely pickup of parcels and following the rules put in place will be good for you. Until next time, I'm Murray Johnson, and this has been your Condo Connection.